Hello and welcome back to ADL, our live stream for today. We are at DMVC Canyons with the street cars. I'm Shift. I am not joined today with Vroom, unfortunately. He had some things going on, so he will not be joining me. But like I said, we're at DMVC Canyons today in the street cars. I'm going to give you guys a quick flyby of the track quickly, and while the drivers are getting some practice in. So there's a big long run up here to this first outside zone. Drivers can either handbrake or flick, initiate into that outside zone there, to an inside clip here, to a transition to an inside clip. No outside zone here, but an outside zone across the track over here, back to the last transition to a long outside zone. The last final bit kind of turns into a wall ride here, across to the line. Very challenging car, or very challenging track for the cars, because this track really is meant to be ran on pro cars, but we have them running on, sorry, I had to reset the audio, but we're running it in street cars today, so it's going to be challenging for the drivers. This is the last comp of our street standings, our point standings for the street cars, to see who will advance on to our Pro Series coming. We are having a private car competition, and this is the last one, the last event to submit points for that series. Do a quick... Oh, and that part right there, the track is so tricky to get right. It's going to make or break a lot of drivers today, because it's not a big decel right there. You want to keep as much speed as you can to fill out that whole zone, but it's tricky because you don't have the speed, so you need to, or you don't have the power to really fulfill that whole zone, so you need to rely on the inertia of your car, the momentum of your car to fill it out with the limited grip you do have. Get another run. Great run there by the lead car, the Mustang. We'll turn names on, that way we can see the names of the drivers. Drivers are just getting their last few laps of... Let me turn the volume down a little bit, actually. Sorry about that. Cars were so loud. But drivers are just getting their last few laps practicing before we actually do send them off. They are only in two groups for the first round. And then the second round, it will only be two groups as well, just because of the limited drivers that signed up for the competition today. All right. Like I said, very tricky track, especially for these cars. They just, like I said, they don't have the power to really take on this track the way it's intended to, but makes it really fun, really challenging. So gonna be excited to see what these drivers can pull together today. Our first battle of the day is gonna be Seth against Tyler. So whenever we see these two gentlemen come to the line, that is when we know that our competition will be starting. We will be having a replay for you guys as well today. So after their first run, they're going to turn around, drive back to the start line. We're going to show you guys a replay. And then while the judges are making a decision for the second run, we'll play the replay as well. And have the drivers line up in position for the decision to be made. We should be starting here very, very, very soon. Everybody should be in now. Judges should be just about ready. Drivers should be just about ready. We're pretty much about ready to send it off here and start the competition. Driver's getting in some pretty good practice runs here. Hope that these can translate over into the actual comp. I know when it's time, pressure comes, time to really put down a good lap. Quite the opposite can happen. All right. Still just waiting on the drivers to finish up their practice here. Waiting for all of our judges to get ready. We should be ready here very, very, very soon. I'm hoping at least. All right. Looks as though we are about to get underway. We have Seth Miller, our first battle here at the line. He will be leading our first battle against Tyler, and here comes Tyler. All right, so we will be getting our first battle underway here at DMVC Canyons. So we wait for the light to go green to send these drivers off, and here we go. The light goes green. Drivers are off. Seth Miller in the Mustang leading Tyler in the GT86. Seth with a pretty good initiation there. Tyler not too far behind. Seth putting down a really solid line here. Tyler falling back ever so slightly. Let's see if he can catch back up here at the end, and he cannot. Very, very unfortunate. All right. Here we come back to the line. Drivers are set. Ready to go. Waiting for the light to go green again for their second run. Seth backing up a little bit, allowing himself a little bit more of a run up. Here we go. And the light is green and we are off. Tyler this time leading in the GT86. Here we go. Tyler initiates. Kind of a weird initiation there. Got the job done, I guess. Hit all the zones. That's all that matters. But Seth Miller right on his door. Right there on Tyler the whole way around. Wow. All right, here we are back again, waiting for the judges to make a decision on who it is going to be. Is it going to be Seth in the Mustang, or is it going to be Tyler in the GT86? Seth's wheel's still spinning there. Car must still be in gear. I believe that's what that's from, at least. I'm not sure. All right, Tyler trying to do a burnout, waiting for the judges to make a decision. All right. Well, I'm hoping the driver model is working and they're not trying to show the winner and it's not working. But I know that's the case. I'm sure we're still just waiting on a call. Oh, and we're going one more time. Okay. All right. Whoa. All right, well, drivers are going to line back up for their OMT. Seth going to lead again in the Mustang. Tyler going to chase again in the GT86. All right, here we go. Drivers are lined up, waiting for the light to go green. And here we go, they are off. Seth initiates in the Mustang. Tyler right there with him. Seth pulling away just a little bit. Tyler cutting a little bit of that inside clip there, falling a little bit back. Tyler looking like he's really struggling in that chase, and then he hits the guardrail and bends it. Puts it into the wall. You hate to see it. All right, here we go. Driver's getting turned back around, lining back up at the line. We wait for the light to go green to send them off of their second run of their OMT battle. Here we go, Tyler in the lead. Let's see what he can do this time around. Let's see, initiates Seth right there with him. Seth falling back a little bit. Both drivers kind of a little bit out of the inside clip there. Oh, and then Tyler just going off track again, and Seth. Both drivers doing everything they could to avoid contact with the guardrail, but it still happened. Very unfortunate. I don't think we need a replay to see what happened there. As we wait for these drivers to line up to get a decision made. Tyler stuck on the other side of the guardrail. Oh, and there you have it. They have decided to give the win to Seth. So Seth will move on to round 2, top 16. Tyler will be eliminated. All right, so our next battle will be Randall Kinney against IMP Shoya. So we fly back to the start line over here. We got Randall Kinney at the line, waiting for Shoya to make his way over here. I believe this is Shoya. I am not positive on that. Oh, it seems as though our driver model has been reset, and he will make his way back down to the finish line. All right, here we go. Drivers are off. Randall Kinney and that Mustang leading Shoya in the Supra. Here we go. Randall initiates. Nice big initiation there from both drivers. Shoya looking like he's falling way behind, though. Randall just not really getting the angle or line I think he needed to through there. And Shoya just having a really hard time keeping up. All right, here we go. Drivers are getting turned back around at the line here. Shoya will lead. This time around, Randall will chase. The light goes green and drivers are off. All right, here we go. Shoya initiates. Big initiation there from Shoya. Randall going off track. Shoya going into the guardrail. Oh no. Not quite sure what happened there. Looked like errors from both drivers. So they're going to make their way... Oh, back to the start line? I think they should be making their way back down to the finish line. All right. Slightly confused on what's going on here. Drivers drove back to the start line instead of the finish line. Oh, okay. Here we go. All right. Is it going to be Randall in the Mustang? It is going to be Randall in the Mustang. He will move on to the top 16. Shoya will be eliminated. Our next battle will be Stoner Monk against Edvards. Stoner Monk making his way to the line in that R34. Okay, not quite sure what happened there just now. Drone cam spazzed out a little bit, but that's okay. We are back in business. Alright, light goes green and drivers are off. Stutterbuck in the R34 leading Edwards in the GT86. Alright, here we go. Both drivers initiate really well, I think. Edwards right there with him, fell back a little bit, but getting that proximity back. Stuttermonk putting down a really solid lead line here, I think. Make his way to the finish line. Overall, really solid run from both drivers, I think. All right, we are back at the line, waiting for these drivers to get turned around so they can go on their second run of their battle. Got Edwards in the lead, Stuttermuck in the chase. Here we go, drivers are off. All right, Edwards initiates. Real big initiation there from Edwards. Stuttermuck not letting him. Oh, falling back a little bit now, but Edwards putting on a really solid lead run here, and Stuttermuck just not able to keep up and just falling way, way off track, going wide there. Very unfortunate. Well, now let's just break apart and see what happened here in this replay. Started off really well. Stuttermuck kept a safe distance from him, from Edwards. Fell a little behind there, trying to get in that proximity back, and he does, but he just goes off track and goes wide and goes right into the guardrail. Very, very unfortunate for him. So we see the drivers line up in front of the driver model now to see who the winner is going to be of this battle. Who's going to move on to top 16? Is it going to be Stuttermuck or is it going to be Edwards? Still waiting for a call to come through from the judges, and it is Edwards. Edwards will move on to the top 16. Stuttermuck will be eliminated. Make our way back over here to the start line. Our next battle will be Docside Crew against Miles Skids. We wait for these drivers to come to the line. Here we are. Got Docside Crew leading Miles Skids. Docside Crew in the R34, Miles Skids in the Supra. Light goes green, drivers are off. Both drivers initiate. Docside Crew a little wide. Miles Skids right there on his door, not allowing him to go anywhere. Miles Skids missing, has no bump, and Docside Crew sending him off track and backwards. Wow, what an interesting turn of events there. Miles Skids with what seemed to be a very, very, very impressive. Just right off track. Just punted him right off track. So we go to the replay now. We see Miles Skids. He had a really great chase run all the way up until the very last transition. See, here he is right there. even putting down better line in that first outside zone than Docside crew, but just punting them right there and just turning around. Very unfortunate. All right, here we go. Miles Skids. This time we'll lead in that Supra. And Docside crew will give chase. All right, here we go. They are off. Miles Skids putting a gap on Docside crew at the line. Here we go. Miles Skids initiates. Docside crew got a lot of ground to make up. Let's see what he can do. He's getting some of it back, taking a narrow line. But he is getting that proximity back. And Miles Skids putting down a great lead run there. Wow, very impressive. All right, as we can see in this replay, Miles just so far ahead of Docside crew at the start of the track that it just left Docside crew really nothing to do other than cut track the whole way and just try to make it to the line, which he did. But Miles just completely left him. Very unfortunate for Docside crew. We wait for a decision to come in from the judges. Docside crew with the strobes on. Judges still deliberating on what the call's gonna be. Still waiting to see what the call is. Maybe they noticed something watching it back that I might have overlooked watching it live. Docside crew's cars wobbling around just a tiny bit. All right. Okay, well, we're going one more time. Oh, and I believe we're back at the start line. All right, well, there you've seen. We are going one more time with these drivers, so they will make their way back over to the start line. Miles Skids and Docside crew. Docside crew will lead. Miles Skids will chase. All right, and here we go. We are off for their OMT run. Docside crew initiates. Miles Skids not too far behind. Miles falling a little bit far behind. Needs to get that proximity back. Docside crew putting on a really good lead run here so far. Putting his car right where he needs to. Miles Skids putting it door to door across the line, just like we want to see. What a run from both of these drivers. Good initiation from both drivers. Very good mimic transition there for Miles Skids. Trying to get that proximity back. As you can see, just getting closer and closer slowly. And then just putting right to his door across the line. Docside crew coming a little bit out of the... off the line a little bit there towards the end. Good job overall from both drivers, though, I would say. Alright, as we get them flipped around, Miles Skids now will lead. Alright, here we go. They are off. Alright, good initiation there for Miles. Docside has to catch up just a little bit, getting that proximity back, and he does. Right on him. Falling back a little bit again, though. Needs to get that proximity back. Miles putting on a really good lead run here. What a lead there from Miles Skids in that Supra. Just exactly what you want to see. So we go back to the replay here. Drone camera acting a little bit funky today. That's all right. All right. All right. There was the replay. Miles Skids took the win over Docside crew. So Miles Skids will move on to the top 16 as we will move on to our next battle here. Our next battle will be Blastoise against Brandon Pitt. Blastoise in that C5 Corvette. Brandon Pitt in the 180. We wait for this light to go green, and it does. These drivers are off. Blastoise was a good initiation. Brandon Pitt getting that proximity back quickly after initiation. Sticking right there with him, giving Blastoise no breathing room, nowhere to go. Blastoise putting on a really smooth lead run here, though, but Brandon Pitt gripped up in that 180. Seeing as though he had no problem. We'll go back and watch the replay here. See exactly how much more gripped up Brandon Pitt seems to be than Blastoise. Just able to suck it right to his door immediately right after initiation. Just sticks it right to his door there. Allows him room for transition. Taps him a little bit there. Falls way inside of him there. Just doesn't give him the room for transition. And then just gets the proximity back there. Didn't go into the zone at all, but got all the proximity back before the end of the line. Super gripped up in that 180. Let's see what he can do here in his lead. As the drivers flip around, wait for the light to go green. And it does, and they are off. Brandon Pitt will lead this time around in the 180. Blastoise will chase. Brandon initiates. Lots of angle from Brandon Pitt there in that 180 on initiation. Blastoise right there with him, though, keeping that safe proximity. Give a little bump there. Brandon Pitt, though, putting down a killer lead line. Blastoise right there with him across the line. You love to see it. That's what you come here for. As you can see, Blastoise there kept a safe proximity throughout the first part of that course there, giving a little bit of a bump right there, and just completely throwing his run out the window, but getting right back up to his door before the line comes. Incredible driven by both these guys. Both of them able to still make it across the line with their little minimal mistakes that they made. But now we wait to see what the judges are going to say, who the winner is. Is it going to be Blastoise in the C5, or is it going to be Brandon Pitt in the 180? Who do you guys think? Chat, let us know down below on who you think won that run. Let's sit here and watch as the All right. Well, we got one vote for OMT, I think. I'm not sure when that message came through. Still waiting on judges to make a call here. Probably deeming who was at fault for the contact. There was contact made twice, I believe. First run and second run. Although the first run contact was nowhere near as bad as the contact for the second run. At least not at, first appearance. All right, judges really deliberating here. Being that it is the last event for the street standings for drivers be rewarded points, I'm sure they are making sure that they pick the right winner, ensuring that the right points are awarded to the right guy, right amount of points, I should say. Drivers always seem to get a little impatient waiting for the results to come in of who the winner is. But it's not easy being a judge. I can speak from that firsthand. It's a difficult job. I don't like it. That's why I don't do it. But I also got to run the stream and everything like that as well, so it makes for a lot of dead air time if I'm also judging. But it's not an easy job. We have King of the Hill events from time to time. You guys come out and try it out, and see what it's like to pick a winner after each run. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's hard. All right, and the winner is Blastoise. Blastoise will get the win over Brandon Kitt. Blastoise will move on to top 16. All right. And I believe that is it for our first group. Our next group will come in, and our first battle of that group will be Power Retro against DJ. Yep. So we'll send you guys to a quick commercial break, allow these drivers to get joined in, and allow for them to get a few laps of practice in. And then when we return, we'll get right into the competition. We'll return shortly. Thank you guys so much. Drop a like, drop a comment, show some support, and we'll be back shortly. Thank you guys so much. All right, welcome back. We are getting ready to get the second group underway. They're finishing up their practice right now. They should all be resetting back to pits. And we're going to get our first run underway, which will be Power Retro against DJ. Power Retro right over there off to the side, ready to go. Resetting back to pits, I'm assuming, to get some fresh tires. Drivers make their way over to the line. Power Retro will lead first. Power Retro in that R34. His opponent DJ, I believe, in the Supra. There he is, Mr. Pro Controller Drifter himself. Right, they are lined up, ready to go, waiting for this light to go green and start the final battles of round one. All right, here we go. Light goes green, and they are off. Power Retro putting a little bit of a gap there on DJ. DJ, though, making that proximity back up. Oh, a little bit of over rotation there from DJ, falling back behind. Oh, and going into the wall. But Power Retro also going off track there. That's going to be interesting for the judges to see. We'll give them a replay just to kind of see what really happened here. But what happened? Seeing as their DJ just got tied up, and Power Retro just went a little wide, going off track. But we'll watch here from the replay. All right, both drivers were off to a pretty good start. Power Retro put a little bit of a gap on DJ. DJ caught back up. Both drivers do it. DJ just a slight over rotation. Right there's where it started for him. And then Power Retro just going two tires way off track there, going wide. Simultaneously, making mistakes. Very unfortunate for both drivers. Wonder what the judges are going to say. Is that going to be an incomplete for Power Retro, or just a huge point deduction? Because we do know that DJ, he did a complete, excuse me, he did a complete his run, when he hit the wall. So we'll see what the judges say here as after they get their second run finished. All right, and here we go. The drivers are off. DJ initiates. Lots of angle there from DJ. A little wide from DJ. Good snappy transition there from DJ. Tight inside line there. Hitting all the zones like he should. Power Retro, though, right there with him. Not letting him go anywhere. Pretty decent run overall from both drivers there. Much, much better than their first, I would definitely say. So let's break apart this replay here now and see exactly what happened. Well, not what happened, just how it went. A little bit of a gap there from Power Retro to DJ on the initiation. Power Retro, though, making it back up. DJ with a really good line, really clean line, simple line. But Power Retro stayed right there with him the whole time, for the most part. Lacked proximity, I would say, on the beginning of the track. But here we go. They are lined up waiting to see who the winners are going to be. And it's going to be Power Retro in the R34. He will move on to the top 16. And DJ will be eliminated. Very unfortunate for DJ. I know DJ... he likes to always say that he's going to be handing out L's during the competitions. And one of these days it will come true for him. Unfortunately, just not today. Our next battle will be Similek against Tyler Berry. Tyler Berry in that Ford Mustang GT. Similek in the Supra. Similek will lead first. Tyler Berry will give chase. Drivers are lined up, waiting for that light to go green. It does, and they are off. Make their way down the run-up. Silek with a nice flick. Tyler Berry right there with him. Really good initiation there from both drivers. Tyler Berry a little close. Not really giving Silek any room to transition. But they both make it to the line. And what an impressive run there from both drivers. Wow. As you can see, Tyler Berry from the start was right on Silek's door. A little too close to him on transition, but stayed right there with him. Barely got out of his way for transition there and just stuck it right to his door in that whole last outside zone there. Fell a little inside, but with proximity like that, that's to kind of be expected. They fall back a good bit, so impressive chase there from Tyler Berry, I'd say. Really great lead from Silek as well, though. Gotta have a good lead to have a good chase. All right, here we go. Drivers are off. Tyler Berry in the lead this time around. Big flick there from Tyler Berry. Late on the angle, but Silek stayed right there with him. Tyler Berry has this thing gripped up. He is moving, whipping, and snapping this Mustang all around, and Silek stayed right there with him all the way around the course. Didn't let him go anywhere. All right, let's see who had the better run. We think. I think Silek. I think both initiations were pretty similar. Silek didn't make contact with Tyler Berry though. But I would say Silek had a better lead. Tyler Berry had a better chase, just from my personal opinion. I don't know what the chat thinks. That's just my personal opinion. Now we wait for the judges to make a decision here. Probably going to be a very hard call to make. Just because both runs were I think, really solid. I'm reading some of y'all's chats. Shifts sound like Jacob from FD. I'm confused why he reset. Oh, here he is again. Okay. Maybe it was just an accident. Yeah, I would have to say that as well. Tyler's lead looked pretty hard to chase. I can understand why you would say that. I still think he had a better chase than Silek, but I think Silek did have a better lead. All right, judges still trying to decipher a winner here. I mean, chat, who do you think took it? I see one vote for Silek. This is a pretty hard call to make. Oh, and there we have it. Tyler Berry takes the win. Silek will be eliminated, and Tyler Berry will move on to the top 16. Up next, we're going to have Vaxney against Mr. Vijo. So we'll wait for these drivers to make their way to the line. Vaxney in the Supra, Mr. Vijo in the S15. There we go, drivers are off. Both drivers initiate. Really good line from both drivers so far here. Mr. Vijo doing a really good job avoiding contact there. Surged a little hard. Oh, and then very, very close to making contact with the guardrail there, but he did not. What a spectacular run from both drivers. Really good lead and really good chase. Both initiate with lots of angle. Mr. Vijo could have had a little bit better proximity, but right on his line, same angle, same everything. Right there with him the whole way around. And it was completely filling out that last outside zone. Mr. Vijo just making his way to the line now. Waiting for this light to go green. Drivers are off. Big initiation there from Mr. Vijo. Mr. Vaxney right with him though. Bumper to bumper on transition. Mr. Vijo putting a really good line down. Wow, great runs from both drivers. Both runs were really, really, really great. Going to be very difficult for judges to make a call on that last battle there. So we watch this replay. Vaxney just right there with Mr. Vijo. Bumper to bumper on transition. Fell a little inside there. Late to get on angle there. But good line all the way around, I think. Going to be very, very, very tough to make a call there. So now we wait. Oh, really good runs. Nothing really to... Well, all right, there we have it. Mr. Vijo gets the win over Vaxney. Mr. Vijo will move on to the top 16. Two more battles at the top 16. We have, round one, we have Legacy, SSR Legacy, and we also have 50 Shades of Grey in our first battle, and then in our second battle will be Smeech against Taran. So SSR Legacy and 50 Shades of Grey will go now. SSR Legacy and the S14. Let's see what 50 Shades of Grey chooses. Doesn't appear as though 50 Shades of Grey is in the server. Is he in chat? Well, I'm not sure what is going on. Maybe we're having some technical difficulties. Oh, all right. Alright, both drivers should be making their way to the line now. Oh, alright, we're gonna have Smeech and Taran go first. Smeech in the Mustang, Taran in the GT86. Alright, big flick there from Smeech, all the way out to the guardrail. Big errors there from Smeech. Oh, Taran also straightening before the finish. He was in the chase position, so that doesn't necessarily matter. He'll make his way back to the line. Alright, here we go. They are off. Taran initiates. Smeech way behind. Has a lot of proximity to make up. Whoa! Gets right up on Taran's door very quickly. Taran, though, with a great line overall. Very impressive line there from Taran in the lead. Alright, as you can see, Taran with a really good initiation. Smeech just kind of got left way behind, having to cut that inside clip there to get the proximity back very quickly. So that's how he did it. But Taran just putting down a really solid lead line there overall, I think. Putting the car exactly where he needed to. Now we just wait for the judges to make a decision. All right. Moxie said Taran easily got the dub. There you have it, Taran with the dub. Taran move on to the top 16. And our next battle, I do believe now we'll go back to SSR Legacy and 50 Shades of Grey for their battle. All right. Yep. All right. So both drivers are at the line now. SSR Legacy and 50 Shades of Grey. We will wait for the light to go green to send these boys off. All right, here we go. SSR Legacy leads in the S14. 50 Shades of Grey chasing in that 180. Big initiation there from SSR Legacy. Oh, going off track. 50 Shades of Grey gonna try to finish out his line here from the chase position. Not quite sure what happened there. Seemed as though SSR Legacy just kind of gripped up and just dove way inside where he shouldn't have, and forced him to cut line. So we'll see what they do on this run. All right, here we go. Waiting for the light to go green. Huge gap. 50 Shades of Grey initiates. Great line from 50 Shades of Grey so far. And SSR Legacy just going way up the mountain there in the background, if you could see. Just completely gave up on his run there. Decided he wanted to go off-roading. Alright, as we wait for 50 Shades to come back over here to the driver model, our judge, and see if he is going to choose him or not. Are we okay? So he's driving back over here. All right, and there we have it. 50 Shades of Grey will be the last driver to enter into the top 16. He will advance. Lots of new drivers coming in the top 16. Guys that got bye runs due to the number of drivers. So we're going to take a quick break here, allow the Group A to come in and get their practice runs in, since, like I said, most of them were buys. Half of them, in fact, were buys. Half of the top 16, 8 drivers, in fact, were buy runs. So we're going to allow Group A to come in and get some practice and for top 16, and then we'll be right back. All right, welcome back, everybody. We are about to get the top 16 underway. Our first battle is going to be Good Lad against Seth. All drivers should be resetting back to pits now. We're going to get our first battle going here very, very, very soon. Or top 16 at least. All right, Seth is already at the line. Just waiting for Good Lad to make his way over here. Good Lad in the GT86, Seth in the Mustang. Let's see what these drivers can do. All right. Drivers initiate. So far, not a bad line from Good Lad. Seth doing a really good job mimicking Good Lad. Oh, and getting Good Lad sent into the wall there at the end of the track. At least it was across the line, though. All right, let's watch this replay. Good Lad initiates. Missed that first outside zone there. Hit that inside clip. Good. Seth hit the first outside clip, but missed the second one. And then both drivers hitting everything else for the most part. Good Lad a little shallow going and entering that last outside zone, but getting out to the wall towards the end of it. It's an overall pretty successful run there from both parts. Drivers coming back to the line now, getting turned around. Seth will lead now in that Mustang. Good Lad will chase. We'll wait for the light to go green here to send these drivers off. Here we go. Light goes green and we are off. Seth initiates. Fills out that outside zone really well. Hits that inside clip really good. Good Lad was right there with him. Fell back a little bit. Getting that proximity back now. Seth, though, putting out a really good lead run here. And Good Lad, give him a little bit of tap there across the line. Let's go back and watch. All right, good initiation there from Seth. Hits that outside zone perfectly. Hits that nose clip perfectly. Good Lad was right there with him. Fell back a little bit, though. And Seth's just putting that car exactly where he needs to. And Good Lad right there. Give him a little bit of tap across the line. We'll wait now for the judges to come back with a decision on who they think the winner is. I think Seth's lead was spectacular. Probably one of the better leads we've seen all day, I would say. Really, really, really good lead there from Seth. Who are the judges gonna pick? Oh man. I love when the drone camera spazzes out like that. Oh, and there you have it. Seth Miller will get the victory and move on to the next round over Good Lad. So Seth Miller will be in the top 8. good lad will be eliminated. All right, up next, our next battle, we have Randall Kenny against Edvards. Here we go, the drivers are off. Woo! What a killer initiation there from both drivers. Randall, lots of angle right on the wall. Edvards right there with him every step of the way. Wow, so excited I couldn't even keep my drone camera caught up with all the action. All right, let's have a look at this replay here and watch this initiation one more time. Barely got the drone camera locked onto Randall there in the beginning. Almost didn't have enough time. All right, look at that initiation right on the wall. Edvards right there with him. Max angle. They both cut the clip just a smidgen. But wow, what an exciting initiation there. And then Edvards just kind of not being able to mimic Randall throughout the rest of the track. Although I would be daring to say that maybe the Randall's lead wasn't the easiest to chase. Seemed like it would have been a very, very hard lead to follow. All right, and here we go. They are off. Edvards this time around will lead. Big flip there from Edvards. Randall getting right up on his door, allowing just enough room for transition. Edvards putting on a really good lead, and then Randall just kind of staying out wide and kind of getting a little bit straight there towards the end of the track. Sorry, I didn't hit the replay button in time, but yeah, it seemed as though Randall just kind of got out wide, stayed out wide, and then just car never just fully rotated back around, and just, you know, ended up bumping into the back of Edvards and not allowing Edvards to fully transition, and there you have it. Edvards will get the victory over Randall. Edvards will move on to the Grade 8. Up next, we're going to have Sleepy against Miles Skids. All right, well, I'm assuming Sleepy is Anthony Norfolk. All right, here we go. Drivers are off. Sleepy in the FC. Good initiation there from Sleepy. Miles Skids struggling to keep that proximity and stay on the same line as Anthony. Oh, and then Anthony going into the guardrail, just completely massacring himself, just removing himself from existence. All right, as we watch this replay back here. Anthony with a... Was that a late initiation? If not, then that was a really good initiation. Really solid line all the way up until the very end of the track. Got into that zone late. Maybe that's what it could have been. Just didn't round out that zone quite enough. And caused him to come in at more of a steeper angle and just wiped himself out completely. All right, here we go. Drivers are flipped around, waiting for the light to go green. All right. Here we go. Miles initiates. Anthony right there with him, falling back a little bit. Anthony is. Miles with lots of angle, and Anthony going into the side of Miles. Miles was just maxed out at angle completely. Let's run that back and watch that in the replay. See exactly what happened here. All right. Let's see where it begins, where the incident begins here. All right, so Miles initiates kind of inside a little bit there, shallow angle, goes out wide here, goes goes a lot of angle, and then Anthony just being too far behind, trying to catch back up, taking that inner line there, you know, utilizing the track to his advantage where there's no outside clip, just taking it inside to catch up and coming in with a lot more speed, a lot more straighter line to where he can just slow down and stick right through the door. But I don't think he quite expected Miles to have so much angle, causing him to go right into the side of Miles and just take him out. And there we have it. We're going to go OMT with these two drivers. All right. Judges maybe just wanted to see some cleaner runs, something better to judge off of. That would be my guess. Here we go. We got them lined up again. Anthony in the lead. Miles, Skids in the chase. Here we go. They are off. Anthony with a good initiation there. Nice snappy transition. Miles not too far behind. Could definitely get proximity back. He does. Really good. Good. Way better than the first time, I would say. At least they made it to the... All right. We see Anthony's initiation there and super snappy transition there. Really solid run all the way around from both drivers, I think. Neither one of them with big errors, corrections, anything like that. Just a little bit of cut and track here and there. But overall, really solid runs, I would say, from both drivers. All right, here we go. They get flipped around. Here we go. They are off. Miles with a nice flick on initiation there. Great line from Miles here. Anthony cutting inside there a little bit. Miles nice and smooth and flowy in that Supra, filling out the zone perfectly. Wow, what a great lead there from Miles. Anthony, not too bad in the chase, was in and out. All right, as you can see from Miles' initiation there, perfect initiation there for Miles. Really smooth line all the way around from Miles. Putting the car exactly where he should. Hitting all the zones and clips, and just a really solid run there from Miles overall. Anthony did a really... he did a good job in the chase, but I think lead to chase, I would say Miles' lead was better. And there you have it. Miles will get the victory over Anthony. And we will move on to our next battle, which will be Blastoise against W. Milliam. Not quite sure how to say that name. Liam, okay. Alright, we have Liam against Blastoise. Liam in the Mustang, Blastoise in the C5. Drivers lined up, ready to go. Alright, here we go. They are off. Big flick there from Liam on initiation. Lots of angles. Somehow able to pull it off, though. Blastoise avoiding contact with Liam. Blastoise really good in the chase. Getting way inside of Liam there at the end of the track, though. Very interesting runs from both drivers, I would say. All right. Let's see. Big flick there from Leo on initiation. Blastoise very surprisingly avoiding contact with Liam. Doing everything he can in the chase to stay right there with him. And then just barely falling inside of him there right at the end of the track. Could be because Liam was not as far out as he could have been. Overall, solid runs there from both drivers, though. All right, they are off. Blastoise initiates. Really solid initiation there from Blastoise. Not quite sure what's going on with the drone cam. Really solid run there from Blastoise, though. Didn't quite get to see what exactly happened. Blastoise with a really good initiation. Really good through the first inner clips. Really tight line through that section there where there's no outside zone, and then just filling out that outside zone perfectly. All right, and there you have it. Blastoise, the winner of this battle, and will advance to the Great 8. And that will do it for Group A of top 16. Now Group B will come in. We're going to have 3FF against Pal Retro in our first battle. Then we're going to have Tyler Berry against Mr. Vijo in our second battle. Tom Flies against 50 Shades of Grey in the third. And then B Shorten against Taran in the fourth. Before moving on to the Great 8. So now wait for these drivers to come in. We'll get some shots of their practice while they're going. So for shooting flames there. Watch Taran on his practice run. All right. We're here as the drivers finish out their practice runs. Like I said, our first battle will be 3FF against PAL Retro. As soon as they're done with their practice runs, we will get the Group B underway. And then we'll go ahead and finish out all the way to the end of the competition. Through the grade 8, all the way to the finals. Alright, as soon as our first battle has come to the line, we have 3FF against PAL Retro. It's the final 4 battles of our top 16. Waiting for the light to go green here. Send these drivers on their way. Both these drivers ready to go. Alright, here we go. We are off. 3FF in the lead in that C5 Corvette. PAL Retro in the chase in the R34. Big initiation there from both drivers. PAL Retro right on 3FF's door. 3FF with a great lead here so far. PAL Retro cut a little bit of track there. But 3FF doing exactly what he needs to do. Putting the car exactly where he needs to. Wow, what a run in the lead there from 3FF. Alright, watch this replay here. 3FF, big initiation there. PAL Retro right up on his door there. Straighten up a little bit, going off track. PAL Retro does, but 3FF putting his car exactly where he needs to. Doing exactly what he needs to do. Great lead there by 3FF. Alright, as we get ready to send these drivers for their second run, we wait for this light to go green. Alright, and drivers are off. PAL Retro also with a big flick on initiation with 3FF right there with him. PAL Retro cutting track a little bit again. 3FF sticking right there with him. 3FF missing outside clip. PAL Retro just sending it off track. And 3FF sticking right there. Just keeping it on track, keeping it on the pavement. Go back and watch this replay and see exactly what happened here. PAL Retro initiates. Really good angle and line through this section. Cutting track a little bit there. And then just snap transition on him. And he just completely sends it off track. 3FF keeping control of his car there. And then there you have it. 3FF also getting the win over Pal Retro. So 3FF will move on, advance on to the Grade 8. We're going to have our next battle come to the line here. It's going to be Tyler Berry against Mr. Vijo. Tyler Berry will give the lead first in that Mustang. Mr. Vijo would chase in the S15. This light goes green and these drivers are off. Drivers initiate. Really solid line from Tyler Berry so far. Mr. Vijo gonna have to pull it together here in the chase. Oh, and then just completely spinning out. Mr. Vijo does in the chase. Wow. You really hate to see it. All right, these drivers get spun around. We wait for this light to go green. Okay, here we go. Drivers are off. Mr. Vijo this time in the lead. Tyler Berry in the chase. Mr. Vijo initiates. Tyler Berry right there with him, almost making contact with the wall. Tyler Berry does. Mr. Vijo, they're doing a really good job in the lead here so far. But Tyler Berry putting the car where he needs to in that chase. Possibly secured himself a victory here. Alright, so we go back and watch this replay. Mr. Vijo initiates. Tyler Berry also getting the win on that last battle there. Judge's decision just came back. You guys can't see it because of the replay. But Mr. Vijo putting on a really good line in the lead there in the second run, but just wasn't enough after his incomplete in the first. So Tyler Berry getting the win. Moving on. Up next we have Brennan Shorten against Taran. Brennan Shorten in that Super, Taran in the GT86. Both drivers initiate. Really good line from both drivers so far. Taran going into the side of Brennan Shorten there, making contact. Brennan Shorten just completely losing control of his vehicle and bringing the run to a stop. Go back and pick this replay apart and see exactly what happened. Drivers make their way up the straight, and then they initiate. Both drivers really shallow through there, really tight to that wall. Taran just going and off track a little bit there, bumping into Brandon, not allowed in a transition, and then Brandon just going off track, losing control of his vehicle, just as we said. All right, drivers are lining back up now for their second run. All right, here we go. Drivers are off. Taran initiates. Brandon Shorten way behind. Needs to catch up here. Taran really quick in that GT86. Really flowy line from Taran in that GT86, and Brandon just nowhere to be found the whole time in that chase. All right, so we watch this replay back. Let's see here. Taran initiates and immediately just puts a car length on Brandon. Brandon tries to get it back, gets a little bit there, but just falls back again right here and just can't catch back up. Has to reinitiate drift, and Taran just stays a safe distance in front of him. Very unfortunate there for Brandon. But we'll see what the judges say considering both runs, because Taran did make contact with Brandon in the first battle. So, gonna be an interesting call. Don't quite know what the judges are thinking or what they're talking about or what they're seeing. Going back and watching it multiple times, but I'm sure it's gonna be a while before we get a call. So, big shout out to our partner, our Discord partner, PDS. Hopefully they will be getting their comps underway here soon. With their Street Pack, their Pro Pack is still in development. Will be coming soon. Just be sure to check their Discord to see whenever they're going to start hosting their competitions. And I'm pretty sure they will be using their Street Pack, which I'm sure might have to get revised here at some point, but we shall see. But yeah, like I said, keep your eyes peeled for that, and be sure to join in their competitions when they do start hosting them again. No, I wish I could go back and rewatch the first replay, but unfortunately, replays over the way I have it set up is they overwrite each other after every time I press it. So, unfortunately, I can't go back and watch the first replay. But I'd like to know what happened in that first run to see what caused the incident. But I'm sure the judges are going back and reviewing that, like I said earlier. Well, I knew this call was going to take a while. Well, while we're waiting, I guess I'll shout out the Pro Series. We are having a Pro Series here soon, and it is all private cars. Well, there we go. Brandon Shorten gets the win over Taran. Brandon Shorten will move on. And our next battle will be Time Flies against 50 Shades of Grey. But like I was saying, well, I won't wait until after these guys go. We have Time Flies against 50 Shades of Grey for our last battle in the top 16. Time Flies in that Mustang, Grey in that 180. Here we go. They are off. They make their way down the run-up. All right, and they initiate. Lots of angle and speed there from Ty. Perfect line. Cray right there with him. Perfect mimic angle and line. What a line there from both drivers. Impressive run there from both of these guys. All right, nothing much to pick apart in this replay here. You see from the initiation there, Cray a little bit far behind, got that proximity back rather quickly and just stayed right there with Ty the rest of the way around the track. Lacked a little bit of angle at some parts, but stayed right there with him for the most part. Overall, really great run from both drivers. Great lead and great chase. If this next battle or this next run is anything like that first run, judges are really going to have a hard time with this one. All right, here we go. Drivers are off. All right, Cray a little bit shallow angle there. Ty with a big straighten. Cray doing what he needs to in that lead. Oh, nearly completely missing that last outside zone there. Man, almost complete opposites from the first run they had. All right. Let's watch this replay and see where these drivers' runs fell apart. As you can see, when Cray initiates, doesn't have quite a lot of angle. Ty making contact with the wall, completely straightening his car back up. And then Cray just completely missing that last outside zone. Just like, I don't even think he ever touched it. So very unfortunate for both drivers there. However, I don't think Cray ever completed during his run. So, yep, there you have it. Cray will get the victory and move on to the Grade 8 overtime. And that will do it for our top 16. And we will move on to the Grade 8, which consists of Seth Miller going against Edvards, Miles Skids going against Blastoise, 3FF going against Tyler Berry, and 50 Shades of Craig going against Brandon Shorten. But what I was saying about the Pro Series is it's private cars only. All the requirements and regulations are posted inside of the ADL Discord. We try to be very lenient with the rules and regulations and the specs on the cars. Try to let guys be as creative, or drivers, I should say, be as creative as they want to be with their data and the way their car feels and creates power and whatnot. So we left it open for the most part, but we do have very few rules to still go by in the regulations. And the Street Series, this event here is the last one to reward points to drivers to get into that. And our top 12 or 16 drivers from the Street Series points, we haven't decided yet, will get automatic entry into the Pro Series. And the rest of the we're only allowing 64 submissions to go on to do like the knockout qualifications and everything like that before closing submissions. But the rest of the drivers will have to be quick to submit their cars to be one of the first to submit it. Like I said, first 64 get entered, and that's pretty much it. But here we go. We got our first battle. Oh, nope. This is not our first battle. We are waiting for all the drivers to come in, so these guys are just getting some practice runs in here while we wait for everybody to join in. Like I said, we're going to have Seth Miller, Edvards, Miles Skids, Blastoise, 3FF, Tyler Berry, 50 Shades of Grey, and Brandon Shorten is our Grade 8. So these drivers will come in. When they get in here, we will go ahead and send them off. All right, seems as though our first battle has come to the line. Seth Miller against Edwards. This is our first battle of top 6, grade 8. And here we go. They are off. Seth Miller in the lead, Edwards in the chase. All right, Seth initiates. Big angle there from Seth. Edwards right there on his door, not giving him any breathing room at all. Great lead and chase there from Seth and Edwards. Exactly how we want to see drivers. Man, ideal lead and chase there. Just really how we want to see these drivers perform, especially here in the grade 8 moving forward to the finals. Let's watch this back again as you see Seth initiates. Edwards right there with him. Seth Miller on a nearly perfect lead line here. And Edwards right there with him, mimicking him every step of the way, right across to the line. Just great runs there from both guys. Giving the judges something they really have to look at to make sure the right call is made. There he goes. Drivers come down the run up. Edwards initiates. Big initiation there from Edwards, going straight, having to reinitiate his drift again. Seth Miller doing everything he can to keep up with Edwards, considering the lack of angle and line from Edwards there in the lead. But Seth doing a really good job. Let's watch this replay back. Edwards, a huge flick on initiation, going straight, having to reinitiate, and Seth just having to kind of fumble everything to keep up with him, and just I'm surprised he was able to mimic him like that and keep up. That was very sporadic there from Edwards. But kudos to Seth. First run was phenomenal. Second run was a little interesting. And now we wait to see what the judges say. All right. Still waiting to see what the judges are saying. All right. There you have it. Seth Miller will get the victory and move on over Edwards. The next battle of the grade 8 will be Miles Skids against Blastoise. All right, drivers are lined up, ready to go. All right, here we go. Miles initiates. Really good line there from Miles. Blastoise having to play catch up here a little bit. Oh, surprisingly avoiding contact from Miles there. Blastoise, really good job. Oh, giving Miles a little bump there across the line. Really good lead there from Miles. All right, really good initiation there for Miles. Really solid line overall from Miles. All the way through the track. Blastoise give him a little bump there. Across the line. Really solid runs, though, from both drivers, I'd say. Blastoise wasn't too shabby in his chase, and Miles was really, really good in the lead, I think. All right. Alright, here we are. Blastoise with a really good lead line here. Miles was right on his door there for a split second, then fell out of proximity. And Blastoise going up track, going into the guardrail, taking himself out. As you see on the replay, Blastoise with a really good initiation. Great line from Blastoise. Miles falling out of pocket there, out of proximity, and Blastoise just going off track right into the guardrail. But judges have came back with a decision, and they have decided on Miles Skids as the winner, so he will advance over Blastoise. Up next, we're going to have 3FF against Tyler Berry. FF in that Corvette will lead against Tyler Berry in the Mustang. All right, here we go. Drivers are off. FF with a big initiation there. Tyler Berry making contact with the wall. It appeared, at least. Trying to get that proximity back. He does. Falling right in the pocket of 3FF. But 3FF putting down a great lead line there. All right, let's watch this replay back. Let's see if Tyler did actually make contact with the wall there. You see 3FF, big initiation. Tyler Berry did make contact with the wall. Never fell out of drift, though. He kept his drift, and then he sucks up that proximity rather quickly on 3FF. Tries to get back in that pocket, but just wasn't really able to until right before the line. Drivers are getting turned around now, making their way back to the line. So we wait for this light to go green again. All right, here we go. Drivers are making their way down the run-up. They initiate. Big angle there from both drivers. 3FF falling way back. Needs to make it that proximity. Tyler Berry cutting that outside clip, and 3FF sending it off track. Whoa, what a drastic turn of events here. 3FF just completely going rogue. Let's watch this replay back. Kind of intrigued to see what happens here. All right, so both drivers initiate here. Tyler Berry way close to the inside there. 3FF taking a more proper line. 3FF falling way back, doing what he can to make that proximity up, and then just completely sending it off track. Man, you really, really, really hate to see it. Not quite sure what the outcome is going to be here. I don't know if 3FF is going to make his way back over here to the driver model or not, but we're going to wait for a vote to come in here. Very interesting runs from these two guys. Well, the other guy is back in the pits, but right. Well, I'm assuming that 3FF is not going to make his way back over here.
Hello, testing.
What's up?
Hello. Do you need someone to bounce off of, mate? So I'm here.
Sure. Are you in the server?
I should jump in a sec. I just need the password. Don't say it out loud in the chat.
No, no.
I just posted it.
Yeah, I just sent it to you.
Okie dokie.
Oh, sorry, I didn't even see all these messages.
No, it's alright. It's alright. Unfortunately for me, I've overslept.
Oh no, all good, no worries.
Yeah,
We're just waiting for a vote to come back now. The other driver reset back to pits though, so I'm not sure if Oh, okay. Well, it looks like they're gonna give the vote to him, so 3FF is gonna get the victory over Tyler Berry. And he will move on to the final four. Up next is gonna be 50 Shades of Grey against Brandon Shorten.
Hey, Tom, you want to send me the password?
I sent it to you.
Oh, it's literally called that?
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Alright. 1 sec.
All right, we're just waiting for 50 Shades of Grey and Brandon Shorten to make their way over to the line. Let's get the last battle of the Great 8 underway. All right, here we are. Drivers initiate 50 Shades of Grey with a great line. Brandon Shorten right on his door, though. Giving him nowhere to go at all. 50 Shades of Grey putting on a really great line, and Brandon just right there with him, right in his pocket the whole way around the track. Yeah, it's I don't know. I've never been in the final four, but all right. Drivers are flipped around, ready to go. All right. Brandon with a really good line here so far. 50 Shades having to pull something out of somewhere here. He was nowhere near Brandon on the beginning of that run.
He managed to catch up to him in the end, but just as he does, Brandon just pulls away just a little bit more. on his lead run there. So, yeah, we're going to see what the judges have to say about that.
Yeah.
This might be a close one.
I think it's gonna. I definitely think it's gonna be a close one. I think it's gonna be another long wait to see what the judges come back and say. But also wouldn't be. Well, no, I don't think it's gonna go OMT. Actually, I think there's a winner.
I mean, we could be wrong. I mean, commentators been wrong before. There's seen that in the other series as well. But yeah, we'll have to see. See the mad lad standing in front of the two cars there will point to the winner.
Yep. It's only a matter of time before we get the call back and we move on to the final four. And then we will have a bronze place match after that before we move on to the finals.
Oh boy. I can't wait.
I would think that any of the drivers in the final four are more than capable of taking the victory here. And it will also put a good scramble on the point standings, too. I think it's going to be... I think it's going to be interesting to see where everybody lands after today's event in the points. Because looking at the bracket now, you can see there's a good bit that's going to be scrambled around. So it'll be interesting to see if some of these names are still in there and some of them aren't in the top 16 or top 12. Like I said, whichever one we decide to go with.
Oh wait, just what I was about to say. That looks like Brandon Shorten's going to be taking the win. He's going to be entering the final four in the 880 Supra.
Yep, Brandon Short will move on to go to the final four. And then our first battle of the final four will be Seth against Miles Skids. After that will be 3FF against Brandon Shorten.
Also, a quick question before we continue. So you want me to lead commentary one run and you do the other run, sort of thing, or?
I mean, you can take over if you want to. It's up to you, man.
Sure. Oh.
We only got 1, 2, 3. We only got 4 battles left. Alright. So 8 runs with no OMTs, obviously.
No OMTs, you say? For some reason, I think there's going to be some OMTs in this final four.
There could be.
Yeah, and I think soon it's near the end, and soon as the drivers put up a really close run, I think the judges are just going to throw their pens at the wall and just be like, "Nah, not dealing with this." Yeah, I've been in the judging, into judging before, and man, especially trying to judge the controversial ones with contact and all that stuff. That's always the most irritating ones to deal with. Right, anyway.
Yeah, I never enjoy being a judge. It's always a really hard job.
Okay, looks like Miles is going to be in the chase and Seth Miller is going to be in the lead. Here we go. This is the first battle of the final four. And here we go into the initiation right there, the Mustang. Seth Miller doing what he needs to do in the lead right now. And looks like Miles Skid is still trying to keep the proximity, getting really close there every now and then. But then Seth Miller pulls away. Oh my goodness me, there's a crash into the wall there. That is a disaster for the first battle of the top four. My goodness me. Oh dear.
Yeah, he definitely broke his car. If this was real life, that Mustang would definitely be split in half from that guardrail. As we watch back on the replay, Seth with a really good lead all the way up until that guardrail. Miles right there with him all the way around, stayed right in his pocket. Perfect mimic transitions, stayed right in the pocket, perfectly on his line, and just into the guardrail. Seth goes.
Oh, mate. Yeah, he just smashed into the wall there. That's going to be a major disadvantage for Seth Miller here. Seth Miller needs to pull something out of the box here to try and intimidate Miles Skids, as Miles Skids is going to initiate into the first corner. They go, first outside zone. Very good there by initiation, but these two inside. Oh my goodness me! What is happening in the Final Four? There's been absolute carnage now. Both cars absolutely torn apart. Oh, goodness. All that stuff that happened in the top 8, and now it's just... What?
Yeah, so what it looked as though Miles might have hit the wall with his front bumper going into that first inside clip, and just completely destroyed his car, and Seth, you know, being right there so close to him, just went right into the side of him. So wouldn't be surprised if we see this one go OMT due to Seth's incomplete in the lead and then Miles incomplete in the lead. You know, gonna be, I think that's really the only thing the judges can decide to go with here.
I think this might be a gift for Seth Miller right now. I think that was just something that he needed just to keep his first place position alive. Like, oh man. I think it's just Miles Skids maybe just had the little bit of the pressure. It is like, oh my goodness me, I just need to pull off this run and I'm in the finals. But then all of a sudden, that dream is now, yeah, it's not reality. Unfortunately, it was only a fantasy.
Yeah, it's definitely a blessing for him having Miles, you know, make a mistake like that in the lead as well. So, well, we'll still have to wait to see what the judges come back and say, though, as you know, wouldn't put it past them to come back with a winner. So,
judges are deliberating quite a bit. It might be something that we didn't see. They're probably checking on the second run if Seth Miller is the main cause of the major crash there that Miles that happened to Miles in the lead. Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I could just look back at the YouTube VOD and have a look myself and see, you know, see why they could be deliberating. Right, so I'm looking at this, the second run here. They initiate, and, oh. Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, this could be, I think that could be all Miles on that one. It could have been his fault there. It looks like he maybe added a bit too much angle at first, and then he just shot to the inside way too early than he was anticipating, and the wall just took his front end alive. And look, there it is. The man has spoken. The man with the helmet has spoken. It's going to be a one more time. It's time for, I think as the judges probably just pointing the finger at them, it's like, hey, clean it up, boys. Come on.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. They were like, come on, this is Final Four. We need you guys to perform, give us something to judge, and you know, kind of led us to where we are here, which is OMT.
All right, there we go. This is going to be OMT of the Final Four. This is the first battle again. And there we go. They both initiated together. Miles is a little bit off, and he's now slowly reeling him in on the back bumper of Seth Miller. Seth Miller is doing an absolutely stellar lead run right now. And he's slightly out of the outside zone, and Miles is not really mimicking his line there. He had to cut the line trying to keep the proximity. And yeah, hey, guess what? They got some of the judge.
I would definitely say they have something to judge now this time around. You know, seeing as both drivers actually made it to the line. As we go back and watch the replay here, see both drivers making their way down the run up and initiate. Lots of angle there from Seth in the lead on initiation. Miles sticking right there with him, falling a little bit behind it right there. Early transition there from Miles, falling inside as Seth. Seth overall with a really solid lead.
Yeah, nothing to really take away from Seth Miller at all in the lead. I think his only mistake I would have pointed out was him being like probably only one tyre into the last outside zone, although that outside zone there is really hard to pull off in these 500 horsepower cars. Right,
yeah.
This is going to be the second half of the OMT. And here we go. They both initiate together. It looks like Miles is definitely going to be keeping it together this time. As now Seth Miller is now going to be all over the back bumper of Miles. As Seth is going to transition into the last corner. And it looks like they're going to be together. Probably a car length away. Not too bad proximity. Oh man, this might be a bit close, but I...
That was a big initiation there from Miles Skids. Let's go back and watch this initiation in the replay.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. And
Miles just sending that way out wide on initiation, setting the car in on a really good line, and Seth mimicking him nearly perfectly. Even a little deeper in that last outside zone than Miles was. So now we wait for the judges to come back with a decision on who they think the winner was. Will it be Miles in the Supra, or will it be Seth and the Mustang?
Got to give hats off to Miles. He was kind of flirting with Def, trying to take Def out to dinner as he initiated the first corner, though. He was one tyre into the dirt there for a moment. I'm surprised he didn't, crash and burn there. But, hey, he kept it together and he had a really clean lead run. And but Seth looked like he had closer proximity throughout the entire run and didn't really have to cut as much line compared to what Miles was doing. But, hey, can't take anything away from both these drivers. They both had, they both deserve to be in the final four. It's always been entertaining to watch them, and hey, I'm feeling entertained. As the audience,
I am too.
I am not entertained.
I am too. I definitely think both these drivers deserve to be here. Surprisingly, lots of people today chose the Mustang and the Supra. I'm wondering if these two cars have something that, for this track that the other ones quite don't have or what. But I know when I was setting the server earlier today, lots of guys went with the Mustang and the Supra. So
Oh yeah,
kind of cool to see the bigger cars as the dominant choices for the track today.
Shame though, not much R34s in this one, eh? Oh, there we go. We got Seth Miller who's going to be going into the finals, battling for first place. He's going to be going for the gold, while Miles is going to be trying to battle out for the third step on the podium.
There were a handful of R34s chosen today.
Oh yeah? How many?
I would say I don't know where I'm at right now. The drone camera just completely spazzed out.
Uh-oh. Well, that's not good. All right, we got a Supra here. I just need to work out who that...
Where am I at? Oh my gosh. All right.
I suggest turn off the drone cam and turn it back on again. And
yeah, that's what I did.
Yep. There you go. And we're good.
All right. We are all good.
Ryman. That's how I pronounce the name. Right, it's going to be the Frenchman in the Corvette and the American Randall in the Supra. It looks like Ryman's going to be in the lead here. Corvette, massive initiation right there, shooting off, taking off in that Corvette, speeding the hell away. But Randall's like, hey mate, where do you think you're going? And he's reeling them in into the last corner. They go, getting really close there in the last corner there.
Wow.
But but was it too late for him to insert his dominance onto the last corner?
All right, as you see, 3FF, big initiation from him in the Corvette. Brandon a little bit further back on initiation, but getting that proximity back throughout the duration of the track, and then cross the line right on his door.
Righty. So it looks like Brandon Shorten needs to put down a lead run here of a lifetime, and Ryman's going to have to keep that proximity if he wants to secure his victory. And it looks like Brandon Shorten's absolutely rocketing off the line there into the lead run there. Ryman's now trying to struggle to catch up there, but he's reeling him in there. The Frenchman is reeling him into Brandon Shorten there. Oh, a little bit of contact at the end there. Oh boy. Yeah, similar sort of situation. Start, not expecting how fast that will be off the line, and yeah, they were just slowly reeling him in as the run continued, and on the last corner they managed to put down some proximity. So this might be a bit of a close one. I think they'll just be trying to compare to lead at this point, since the chase runs were similar in a way.
Yeah, they both kind of lacked proximity beginning and then made it up towards the end. But yeah, I think that's all the judges can really go off of from here is lead to lead. I think both drivers had a heck of a good lead, so wouldn't be surprised to see this one go OMT, such as the last. So
got some fellas in the stream chat saying Supra all day. Unfortunately, that's for the judges to decide their fate, unfortunately. Trust me, we know we're chilling. Oh, speaking of the devil, and he shall appear, the Supra is getting the win. Brandon Shorten is going to be going into the finals battling for the gold. It's going to be Mustang, the Supra, import versus domestic.
all right.
If it's shades great. Oh, yeah. Well, what? Oh, what, Mr. Cray? Are you threatening me?
We get our third place battle underway here. Got Miles Skids against 3FF.
It's battle for the bronze. And here we go. They're both getting into the finals here for the third place battle. And Miles' Skid is absolutely shooting away from Ryman right now. Ryman absolutely catching up here, but might have just checked up a little bit there. Miles absolutely flying through the canyon here, and they're both getting to the outside. Oh my goodness me! Ryman hitting the wall there as he tried to show. I think he just had a bit too much, just trying to play catch up, and yeah. Bam, into the wall.
Yeah, he got a little bit overzealous there towards the end of the track, trying to get his proximity back, and just completely sent himself right into that guardrail.
Yeah, unfortunately for Ryman. But hey, I wouldn't be mad at all if I was in the final four. I'll be pretty happy to be there. But yeah, it's not how you want to go out though when it comes to battles. You wouldn't want to go out like that. You want to go out swinging, and it looks like that's what Ryman is going to do. Is he's now doing a rolling burnout into the first initiation. Here we go, Ryman in the lead there. Looks like Miles has done a bit of a tyre drop there, but he's still managed to hold a bit of a drift line in the chase. He needs to just play it safe a little bit there, and that could be sealing the deal for Miles for the third step on the podium in the Supra.
I believe.
Ryman did his last hurrah in the lead run there. As good as the lead run it was, unfortunately, he still had that major disadvantage of hitting the wall on the final outside zone.
Yep,
So
judges came back and gave the win to Miles Skids. So 3FF will get fourth, Miles Skids will get third. Now we move on to our final battle of the day, which will be Seth against Brandon Shorten.
All right, Brandon Shorten and Seth Miller It's going to be import versus domestic once again. Mustang versus Supra. Alrighty. Everybody, get your last bit of popcorn. Don't be stingy with the butter, because this is going to be the battle for first place. And here we go. This is the Assetto Drift League, the DMVC Canyon. It's final time as Seth is initiating into the lead there. Big initiation right there. And it looks like Brandon Short is going to be keeping the proximity on the back bumper of Seth Miller here. Both staying together, letting an eternal dance around the last corner. Woo! Okay, I'm hyped.
Chase from those drivers.
When you get something like that, when these two drivers are close together, it just looks like a mixed dance together. It's just... it's poetry. And I like
is. Yeah, when they mimic each other perfectly, like Brandon was doing in the chase just now to Seth. Yeah, it's amazing.
Just play a bit of orchestra with that, and it's a masterpiece. Or you could play a song from a series of Evangelion. Both of you dance like you want to win. And that is exactly what they're going to do here. This could be the final run of the day. Seth Miller needs to pull something out of the box here to be able to hold a chase run with Brandon Shorten, and he's keeping it together. And Brandon Shorten did a really good initiation there. And, oh my God, transitioning really close there, but Seth Miller keeping on the back bumper of Brandon Shorten. They're both initiated into the last corner here on the outside zone. Oh man, sometimes I'm a little bit rusty with my commentary. It's been a
good. All right, we watched the replay here of the final run of the day, being that there's no OMTs, that is. All right, as we see Brandon in the lead as he initiates with Seth Miller right behind. Good angle and speed and line from Brandon Shorten there in his lead position, hitting all the clips, all the zones. Not quite as deep in the last outside zone as he could have been. He got out there, but he started the zone not quite deep in it. But overall, really good lead there from Brandon Shorten, and Seth just right there, right behind him the whole time.
I just want to give a shout out to Spaceman in the chat right there. He noticed my reference. Congratulations, mate. Bloody good on you. Yeah, there is potential of being a one more time here. I can understand if it's a one more time.
Yeah, I think I could see it going OMT as well. We have 50 Shades of Cray says Brandon Shorten for the win. What do you say, chat? Who's the winner?
Is it import or domestic?
Is it Brandon Shorten or is it Seth Miller?
We got one person saying well on OMT. Have Mr. Cupcake. Well, that's his name, the Major Cupcake, just standing there, just awaiting for the judges' decisions, and yeah, he's going to be pointing to the winner. Or call for OMT.
Okay.
Although, I really wish I was here at this event, but it's okay. That was kind of on me. I kind of stayed up a little bit late, and I was like, oh, I could go. Oh, and there we go. Judges, we have a decision. It's going to be Brandon Shorten taking the first place position, and here tonight. Oh, yeah, tonight. That kind of bamboozled me because it's 7 in the morning for me, and I said tonight. But hey, it makes sense because it's tonight, your guys' time. But hey, congratulations to Brandon Shorten in the A80 Super. It's going to be import on top of the podium, and the Mustang in second place, and another A80 Supra for the third step on the podium. It's going to be the import dominant for this round.
It is indeed. Huge shout out to Brandon Shorten for the victory today. Seth, good job for second, man. Third place, Miles, great job. Can't wait for the series. Josh, you have anything you want to add to close out this live stream?
Everybody, stay safe, be happy, and enjoy life.
That's exactly right. Well, you heard it from Josh. Stay safe, be happy, enjoy life. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the competition today. This was the Street Series at DMVC Canyons. Hopefully the next time you see us, we will either be in Pro Cars or in the Pro Series. Undecided yet. But anyway, be sure to tune in next time. Follow us on Instagram to know when our competitions are coming. Or if not, then just know that they're every 2 weeks. Thanks again for tuning in. Be sure to drop a like, a comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And we'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.